Now look, today we're revisiting the tragic and unsettling case of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, the Florida teen who was found dead aboard the Carnival Horizon cruise ship. Now, new details have come out, including CCTV footage and a surprising development involving a family member. Look, y'all sit back and relax and stay until the end of this episode because we about to dive right in. Welcome back to another episode of Eyes Low, Belly Full. As y'all know, this marks episode 199. So, according to new reporters, CCTV footage from the cruise ship shows Anna during her final hours. The footage reportedly shows Anna returning back to the cabin on the night of November 6th. You know, she did tell her family that she wasn't feeling well and that she was going back to the cabin to lay down or whatever. And that was the last confirmed sighting of her alive. But what's strange is what happens afterward. Because that same cabin wasn't just occupied by Anna. It was shared with her 14-year-old brother and her 16-year-old stepbrother. They are only identified by initials because them being a minor. And it was also said that the CCTV footage captured the 14-year-old brother going into the cabin and changing clothes and coming back out. You know, I guess to view the rest of the cruise ship sightings or something like that. Pretty much leaving Anna and the stepbrother in the cabin alone. So investigators are now focusing on what happened inside that cabin from the time Anna returned until the next morning when her body was discovered. And court documents show that the step-sibling is actively being investigated in connection with Anna's death. So the teen was detained for questioning, then released, but is still considered a key figure in this case.
Now know more about the final hours of Anna Kepner's life, and it all comes from surveillance footage. Now, this surveillance video is not actually out, but the recorded events have been reported. As we know, Anna left a family dinner early, citing that she wasn't feeling good. On this surveillance footage, you do see Anna walking into her cabin. Now, remember, Anna was on this cruise with her family, which was her father, her stepmother, her 14-year-old biological brother, and her 16-year-old stepbrother. The three of them shared a cabin. Both of the boys had bunks. Anna had her own bed. On this surveillance video, you see Anna come into her cabin, and then a little bit later, you see both of the boys come. Not too long after, the 14-year-old is seen leaving the cabin in a different change of clothes, and he's going to take snapshots of the cruise ship. This leaves Anna and the 16-year-old stepbrother in the cabin alone, likely some of her last hours. Now, the younger brother did come back to the cabin and he did not see Anna, but he thought that she was just out with the adults having a good time and thought nothing of it and went to bed. Nothing was thought to be wrong until the next morning when everybody reconvened for breakfast, but only the boys showed up, no Anna. After reporting her missing and beginning a search, a medical emergency was announced on the intercom, which reportedly drove Anna's father to rush to her cabin. And when he did, this is allegedly when he saw the maid discover Anna's body wrapped in the sheet under the bed, which would mean if the stepbrother did indeed do this, and remember, he is named a suspect right now, then that means he took her life, which we don't know the cause of death yet, placed her under the bed, and then slept.
Now, before anyone jumped to conclusions, there have been no charges and investigators haven't confirmed any specific criminal act. But the fact that they're looking at someone within the family adds a whole new layer to this already mysterious situation.
Alright guys, so we have some new information in the case of 18-year-old Anna Kepner after she tragically and suddenly passed away on a Carnival Horizon cruise ship earlier this month. According to someone from law enforcement, there is surveillance footage of Anna right before she passed away with a suspect. This suspect has been identified as her 16-year-old stepbrother. According to documents, her stepbrother was taken into custody during the initial part of the investigation for a period of time, but he has since been released and is currently staying with an unknown party. Now, according to Anna Kepner's stepmother, Chantel's ex, their 18-year-old son moved in with him or wanted to move in with him after a violent altercation ensued between their child, their oldest son, and Chris, Anna's father. He also claims in his court filing that since Chantel moved in with Chris, Anna's father. She has provided an unstable and volatile environment and living condition for their children. He references one incident where one of their children attempted to jump out of a moving vehicle during a confrontation between Chantel and Chris. Chantel's response to this accusation confirms that one of their sons did try to jump out of a moving vehicle. However, she and Chris were only attempting to prevent him from jumping out of the vehicle, not because there was an altercation ensuing, but because he was trying to jump out of the vehicle so that he could stay behind in Hernando County with his girlfriend. In these filings, she denies any allegations of physical altercations between her, Chris, Anna's father, and her eldest child from this previous marriage. She states that a judge even previously denied the father's attempt to file a DV injunction against her in an attempt to undermine his allegations. She actually says that this ex is the one who put their children in harm's way, highlighting the fact that he was the one that allowed their oldest child to live with a girlfriend, hindering her ability to see him at one point, and states that 2 of the remaining minor children refused to visit their father due to what she described as issues of DV on his part.
Now, the biggest question is what happened inside that cabin, because official reports say that Anna's body was later found wrapped inside of a blanket, placed under the bed, covered with life jackets. You feel me? And that raises an even bigger question, like who moved her body, when, and why? If the step-sibling had something to do with it, it's crazy because he laid on the bed like it was nothing and went to sleep like it was a normal sleepy night. And despite of these new details coming out publicly, the family still says that they aren't getting any answers. I mean, the FBI is continuing to investigate, but they haven't released the cause of death, a manner of death, or even confirmed if foul play was involved. And the family has made it clear that they feel left in the dark. No updates, no explanations, no clarity of if this was an accident, a medical emergency, or something else more sinister. And while investigators are combing through footage, access car logs, interviews, and cabin data, the public is left piecing together the fragments. You feel me? Like it's one of those cases where every new detail deepens the mystery instead of solving it. But one thing is certain, the more we learn, the stranger this story becomes. A healthy, active 18-year-old suddenly dies. Her body ends up concealed. And a step-sibling becomes a person of interest. Like CCTV footage shows the last moments, but not what happened inside that cabin. You feel me? Like it's almost every major detail from cause of death to motive is still unreleased. Like this is not a typical cruise ship tragedy. This is like a puzzle with missing pieces. And the people who want answers the most seems to know the least. Now, I want to hear y'all opinion on this case. When the cabin doors closed that night, what do you believe unfolded behind it? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And if this video resonated with you, go ahead and hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up and also subscribe and hit that bell notification for more episodes. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.